Welcome to A Course in Miracles. I'm Earl Purdy here on Facebook Live, and we're going to continue to talk about looking within. What does that mean to look within? And how do you manifest from A Course in Miracles perspective? How do you manifest that peace that you want? When you want only love, you will see nothing else. Welcome to Facebook Live with Earl Purdy. And we're going to start out with a song from Brother John Christmas at www.johnchristmas.com. If you want to get the music, it's from A Course in Miracles. It's called I Am Responsible for What I See. Welcome.
I am responsible for what I see. Yeah, I am responsible for what I say. Oh, I am responsible for what I say. Say, I am responsible for what I say. And everything that seems to happen to me, well, I ask for it. Yeah, I ask for it. I choose the feelings that I experience. Yeah, I choose the feelings that I experience. I choose the feelings that I experience. Yeah, I choose the feelings that I experience. And everything that seems to happen to me, yeah, I ask for it. Yeah, I ask for it.
Welcome to A Course in Miracles here on Facebook Live. I'm Earl Purdy, and I want you to open your mind to free your behind. Open your mind to free your behind. That's what we are going to do. That's what I want to do for you. So let's go back to this message.
Set up on the goal that I would achieve. I decide upon the goal that I would achieve. I decide upon the goal that I would achieve. I decide upon the goal that I would achieve. And everything that seems to happen to me, well, I ask for it. Yeah, I ask for it.
Now remember, you don't need to believe the ideas. You don't have to accept the ideas. You don't have to welcome the ideas. You may resist some of the ideas. Some of the ideas may be hard to believe and quite startling. We're not going to analyze the ideas. We're not asked to analyze the ideas, and I'm not going to analyze the ideas because their use will give the ideas meaning to you and will show you that the ideas are true. You have to use it. You have to use it.
I am responsible. Yeah, I am responsible. Yeah, I am responsible. I am responsible. And everything that seems to happen to me, well, I ask for it. Yeah, I ask for it. I choose the feelings. I choose the feelings. I choose the feelings. Yeah, I choose the feelings. And everything that seems to happen to me. What do you say? Everything that seems to happen to me. Yeah. Everything that seems to happen to me. Well, I ask for it. Yeah, I ask for it. I am responsible.
That was Brother John Christmas at johnchristmas.com if you want to get that music. We're going to be on page 231, chapter 12, in A Course in Miracles text, section 7, paragraph 8. Chapter 12, section 7, paragraph 8, in the Foundation for Inner Peace version of A Course in Miracles. We're going to be talking about how to only see love, how to only see peace. What does it mean to look within? What determines what you see and what you experience? We're going to continue with that. I'm the Divine Repetition Teacher. I'm the Divine Remembering Teacher. I'm Earl Purdy. I've been doing the Course in Miracles full time for over 30 years, and I've been studying it for 40 years. And I'm here to save time for those who resonate with me and my style of teaching. Nobody is the teacher for everybody. So the people that I'm the teacher for, those are the people who appreciate the way it comes through me and it resonates to them. If it doesn't, then maybe someone else is your teacher. So I may not be the one, but if I am for whoever is listening, I'm so glad to have you right here with me. When you want only love, you will see nothing else. So if you see anything other than love in your life right now, mighty companions, I'm so glad you're here. I see your comments. I read all of your comments. And we are a family, and I'm glad that you are here. Let me get you up so I can also see you as I am going through this. And I want you to know you are a blessing to me. When you want only love, you will see nothing else. What does that mean? If you see anything other than love, it's because you must, at some level, desire something other than love. What does that mean? If you are experiencing fear, anger, guilt, lack, upset, that's because you are wanting to see something other than love, according to A Course in Miracles. What does that mean? That means the contradictory nature of the witnesses that you see is merely the reflection of your conflicting invitations. So if you see something other than love and peace, you are inviting something other than love and peace. If you see something other than love and peace, it's because you are desiring to experience something other than love and peace, according to A Course in Miracles. You have looked upon your mind. You have looked upon your mind, you have looked in your mind, and you have accepted that there's opposition, that there's conflict in your mind. Do you know that if there is conflict in your mind, it's because you have sought conflict and fear in your mind, even if you don't realize it. Don't think you know everything. Don't think all of your thought processes are conscious. Most of your thought processes are thought processes that you are very unconscious of. The Course in Miracles, it focuses on what I call shadow work. The Course in Miracles focuses on thoughts and beliefs and feelings and emotions that you have, but you don't know you have. I'll say it again. The Course in Miracles focuses on thoughts, hidden feelings and beliefs of fear and separation and grievances that you don't know you have. That's why the Course in Miracles teaches forgiveness, which is the release from anger, guilt, and grievances from the past. So how do you know you have anger, guilt, and grievances? If you see it, it's in your mind. Even though you may think you're seeing things that are not in your mind, you're never seeing anything that's not in your mind. So don't then believe that the witnesses for opposition are true. So what do? You don't believe that the witnesses for opposition, the witnesses for conflict, you don't believe that those witnesses are true. Sure, you may see fear, you may see guilt, you may see or feel pain or conflict, but they are not necessarily true, because anything that is true, according to A Course in Miracles, is something that is love, something that is permanent, something that only expands and grows in joy. That's what the Course in Miracles defines as real. That's what the Course in Miracles defines as real. So if you see something other than love, it just witnesses to your decision about reality. What you see is a witness to your choice. What you see is a witness to your decision. What you see returns to you the messages that you gave to the witnesses. You may not realize it, but everything that you see is coming from your decision about what you want to see. So if you see conflict, that's because you believe two opposite ways of thinking. You believe in separation and you believe in oneness. You have some peaceful thoughts and you have some angry thoughts. And since you have both kinds of thoughts, you see those two things in your world. Love, too, is recognized. How do you recognize love? The way that you recognize love is by the messengers of love, by the perceptions of love. So you recognize love by its messengers. Ask yourself, how many messengers of love do you have in your life? How many relationships do you have that bring you the message of how loved you are, how valuable you are, how treasured you are? What perceptions do you have that witness back to you that you are loved? So love, how is love recognized? Love is recognized by its messengers. Love is recognized by its messengers. I want to be a messenger of love for you. I want to be a messenger of love for you. Will you be a messenger of love for me? Will you be a messenger of love for the people in your life? If you make love manifest, do you know that if you make love manifest, if you make it manifest, its messengers will come to you because you invited them. So if you want to have messengers of love in your life, if you want to have perceptions of love in your life, in your primary relationships, those people who are in primary relationships with you especially should be messengers of love in your life. They should be sharing with you messages of how valuable you are, how appreciated you are, what a treasure you are. If you make love manifest, its messengers will come to you. Love's messengers will come to you. Why will love's messengers come to you? What does it take for love's messengers to come to you? To make love's messengers come to you, they will come to you because you invited them. Let's do it. I invite love's messengers into my life, into my life. I invite love's messengers into my life, into my life. You invite love's messengers, love's perceptions into your life. As we go through this, we're going to do what it says. I'm not going to analyze what it says because it is not difficult. What you just heard, it's very simple. If you look out in the world and you see love and fear and hate and peace and lack and abundance and sickness and health, it's because you have thoughts like that. in your mind. So what you see is not necessarily true, but it is a reflection of the invitations that you send out. Your one remaining freedom is the power of decision. Do you know your one remaining freedom is the power of decision? What is your one remaining freedom? Your one remaining freedom is the power of decision. You have the power to choose. You have the power to choose. You have the power. What did I say? I said you have the power. What power do you have? You have the power to choose. You have the power to decide. You have the power to choose. You have the power to choose. You have the power. In this hour, you have the power to choose. You have the power. You have the power to choose. You can decide to see this world right. Do you know you have the power of decision? Do you know what your one remaining freedom is? Your one remaining freedom is what? The power of decision is your one remaining freedom as a prisoner of this world, as a prisoner of this world. You can decide to see the world right. You can decide to see people right. You can decide to see everything correctly. You can decide to see everything directly. What you have made of the world is not its reality. If you have fear and you see fear and conflict in your world, you have made of the world what is not the world's reality. For the world's reality, what you made of it is not its reality. But what you made of it is not its reality. You can decide to see the world right. What you've made of the world is not the reality of the world. For the reality for you is only what you give it. What you give it is what's real to you. What's real to you in the world is what you have given the world. What's real in your perceptions, it's what you have given. What is real in your perception is what you have given. What is real in your perception is what you have given. You cannot really give anything but love to anyone. Do you know that you can only give love to anyone or anything? The only thing that you can really give to anyone that's real, the only thing that you can really give to anyone that's love, and love is freedom. 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 You cannot really give anything but love to anyone or anything. You can't even receive anything but love from anyone or anything. The only thing that you can really receive or give to anyone is love. Even if it looks like there are other things that you can give and receive, the only thing that you can really give and really receive is love, is freedom. So what if you think you have received something else other than love? What if you think you have received something other than love? If you think you have received anything else, do you know that if you think you have received anything else other than love, it's because you looked inside yourself. You looked within and thought you saw the power to give something else other than love within yourself. If you think you're receiving something other than love and peace and support from your experience, it's because you looked within and you thought you saw the power within you to give something other than love. If you think you are capable of giving something other than love, if you think you're able to give something other than peace, then you can receive something other than peace and love in your perception. So if you look like you're receiving a lot of perceptions and messages that are not loving in your life, I know this may be a challenge for you to hear, but it's because you looked inside and thought you saw something inside yourself other than perfection. It means you looked inside yourself and you thought there was something inside you other than luscious love. If you think there's something other than luscious love and truth inside yourself, then it will look like you are receiving something other than love. So what does that mean? What I just said, what does it mean? It means it was only this decision. What decision? The decision you made that there was something else inside of you other than light and love. When you looked inside yourself and you thought you saw something else, sin, guilt, unworthiness, inadequacy, if you looked inside yourself, it was only this decision about what you saw in yourself that determined what you found. Because what you find in your experience, it was the decision for what you sought. So you may be seeking things that you don't know you're seeking. You may be believing things that you didn't even know you were believing. You may have beliefs about yourself that you didn't even know that you had. And that's what you're seeing in your world. That's what you're seeing in your world. Listen to Earl about what you're seeing in your world. If you're following along with me in the Course in Miracles book, you'll see that I am just attempting to bring what the Course in Miracles is saying to life so that you can remember it. Do you know that the Course in Miracles says over and over and over and over, don't forget, remember. Don't forget, remember. It's over and over. It says, don't forget this, remember this. It doesn't say analyze this, analysis paralysis. I will not analyze A Course in Miracles anymore. It's a trick. You need to just remember that if you see anything other than love and peace in your life, it's because you looked inside of yourself and you thought there was something inside of you other than love and peace. And that decision determined what you found because it was the decision for what you sought. So rather than arguing with that, you could just choose to see something else. You could learn how to see something else inside yourself. A Course in Miracles' purpose is to remove the blocks to the awareness of love's presence inside of you. You just have some blocks that need to be removed. You have a block that you must unlock. You have a block that you must unlock. The Course in Miracles unlocks your blocks before you let your ego knock your block off. Sometimes the ego knocks our block off. It is the block. So let the Holy Spirit knock your block off. Let love knock your block off. Let love knock your fear off. So Jesus of the Course is a living love. Is a living love. Is your equal. And the Course says, you are afraid of me, living love, because you looked within and are afraid of what you saw when you looked within. So why is a person afraid of love? Why is a person afraid of even Jesus of the Course, which is a teacher of love? Why are we afraid of love according to the Course? Because you looked inside yourself and you became afraid of what you see inside yourself. If you are afraid of what you see inside yourself, you will know it. How will you know it if you are afraid of what you see inside yourself? Because you will be afraid of love. So if you're a person that's afraid of freedom, afraid of love, afraid of abundance, afraid of health, afraid of wealth, afraid of having a good time, afraid of fun, if you are a person that's afraid of everything, according to A Course in Miracles, you're looking within yourself and you are afraid of what you've seen inside yourself. If you're afraid of love, you're afraid of what's inside yourself. If you're afraid of love, you think there's something inside of yourself that's not loving. But if you look inside yourself and you're afraid of what you feel about yourself and you're afraid of what you see inside yourself, you couldn't have seen reality. You couldn't have seen the truth about yourself. If you don't love yourself, if you don't see greatness in yourself, if you don't treasure yourself, then you're looking inside yourself and you're seeing something that's not true about yourself. You couldn't have seen reality if you don't love yourself, because the reality of your mind, do you know your mind is the loveliest of God's creations? Did you hear me? Your mind is the loveliest of your Creator's creations. The Course in Miracles says it right here. The loveliest of God's creations is our one mind. Our one mind, notice I said our one mind, is the loveliest of God's creations, is our one mind. Let yourself bathe in this. I'm not rushing through this. I don't care how far we get before the hour is up. I would rather us hear one word, one sentence of A Course than to rush through it. Listen to me. If you are afraid of love, if you are afraid of the Jesus of the Course in Miracles, if you are afraid of each other, if you are afraid of yourself, if you are afraid of God, it means that you have looked inside yourself and you may have seen some inadequacy, some what you perceive as sinfulness or guilt, insecurities. You may have looked within and saw fear inside yourself if you are afraid of love, but you couldn't have seen what was true. You couldn't have seen reality, because if you looked inside yourself, you would see that your mind is the loveliest of God's creations. Do you know that your mind comes only from God? Your real mind, your mind comes only from love. Your mind comes only from God. Do you know that the power, do you know that the grandeur and the power of your mind could only bring you peace? If you were in touch with yourself, if you were truly in touch with your mind, what did the Course says? The power of your mind could only bring you peace, because your mind comes from God. It comes from love. Your mind comes from the Creator, and its power and its grandeur could only bring you peace. What is the Course in Miracles definition of peace? What is one of the Course in Miracles definitions of peace? One of the Course in Miracles definitions of peace is total fulfillment. Say that word. Say those two words. Total fulfillment. Total fulfillment. Total fulfillment. Peace is total fulfillment. Peace is total fulfillment. Peace, 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 peace. Peace is total fulfillment. So let's hear it again. Coming only from God, your mind's power and abundance, your mind's power and grandeur could only bring you peace if you really looked at your mind. Your mind could only bring you peace if you really honestly looked at your mind through the truth, through the eyes of the Course in Miracles or any true wisdom text. I'll say it again. If you really looked at your mind, which is the loveliest of God's creations, it could only bring you peace if you really looked at it. So if you do not feel peace, if you do not have a peaceful mind, your interpretation of your mind is incorrect. Guess what? Making a mistake is not a sin. Making a mistake is not a sin. Making a mistake is not a sin. So if you're making a mistake, what is the mistake? The mistake of thinking that there is something inside of you but love. Believing that there's something inside of you but innocence. If you believe that there's anything inside of you but goodness, if you believe that there's anything inside of you but goodness, then you're not really seeing your mind. If you really looked at your mind, it would only bring you peace, which is total fulfillment. So what if you are afraid? What if you are afraid? What if you are afraid? Some you may be afraid. And what did the Course in Miracles say? If you are afraid, it is because. If you are afraid, I'm going to tell you why. According to A Course in Miracles, it's because you saw something inside of yourself that is not there. You're seeing something right now. If you are a person that's full of fear and you have some fears and anxieties and concerns and some worries, you're seeing something that isn't there inside of you. You're seeing something that isn't there. But in that same place that you're looking inside of your mind and seeing things and thoughts that make you afraid, in that same place, what place? Inside your mind, you could have looked upon living love and all your equals. We are your equals. You could look inside and you could have seen love and all your equals in the perfect safety of the mind which created us. You could see all of us in the perfect safety of the mind of God. You might be looking inside, seeing something that's unworthy, and then seeing something to be afraid of in your outside world. But you could just as easily have chosen to look inside yourself, to look inside your mind, and you could have seen me and all your brothers and sisters in the perfect safety of the mind which created us. For do you know that we, all of us, are inside of the mind that created us in the peace of the Father, in the peace of the Creator? Do you know that we are all in the perfect safety of the mind that created us? The truth is, we are all in complete safety in the mind that created us. And do you know our Father, our Heavenly Father, our Creator, wills to extend its peace through you. Love wants to extend itself through you. What? Freedom wants to extend itself through you. What? Abundance wants to extend itself through you. What? Health wants to extend itself through you. Joy wants to extend itself through you. The Creator, the peace of the Creator, who wills to extend the Creator's peace, total fulfillment through you. Don't analyze this. Don't analyze this. Just open your mind up to the possibility that that which created you wants to extend total fulfillment through you. Are you willing for your Creator to extend total fulfillment through you? So when will you finally see peace? When will you finally see in such a way that you feel total fulfillment? What will it take? What would it take for you to see only peace? Listen to me now. When you have accepted your mission, sort of like that Mission Impossible movie. Are you ready to accept your mission? Are you ready to accept your mission? Do you know that your mission, what is your mission? No matter whether you're a mother, father, sister, brother, mechanic, a teacher, a dentist, whatever you do, that's your role. But what is your mission? Your mission may be different from the role you are playing. When you have accepted your mission, what is your mission? To extend peace is your mission. You are here to extend peace. You are here to extend love, total fulfillment, happiness, and joy. You're not here to extend attack. You're not here to judge. Nobody needs your judgment. Nobody needs my judgment. You didn't create me. I didn't create you. You can't really judge me unless you walk a mile in my shoes. I can't really judge you unless I walk a mile in yours. So it's no point in judging you. But my mission is to extend the truth to you, to extend peace to you. What is your mission? Your mission is to extend peace. You will not find peace until you extend peace. It says, when you have accepted your mission to extend peace, you will find peace. When you have accepted your mission to extend peace, you will find peace. You will find peace. When you have accepted your mission to extend peace, you will find peace. You will find peace. When you have accepted your mission to extend love, you will find love. So when will you find love? When you accept your mission. What is your mission? To extend love. When you extend freedom and peace, that's when you will find freedom and peace. That means by making it manifest, you will see it. By making it manifest, you will see it. By making it manifest, you will see it. Whatever it is, by making it manifest, you will see it. By making it manifest, I will see it. By making it manifest, I will see it. By making it manifest, I will see it. By making love 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 manifest, I will see it. By making peace manifest, I will see it. By making peace manifest, I will see it. By making peace manifest. That's how you see it. Now listen. The holy witnesses, the innocent witnesses of peace and love, all those witnesses of peace and love, when will they surround you? Well, the witnesses of peace and love, when will they surround you? The witnesses of peace and love will surround you because you called upon them. Call upon them. I call on the witnesses to peace. I call the witnesses to peace. I call the witnesses for peace. I call the witnesses to peace. Call the witnesses to peace in your life. Call them. The Course in Miracles says the witnesses to peace, the peaceful perceptions, they will surround you. Do you want to be surrounded by peaceful, loving messengers, witnesses, perceptions? Well, if you want to be surrounded by peaceful messengers, you have to call upon them and they will come to you. Call upon them and they will come to you. Call upon the holy witnesses, the peaceful, loving witnesses, and they will come to you. If you call upon them, they will come to you. If you call upon it, it will come to you. Do you hear what I'm saying? Don't analyze it. Do you just hear what the Course in Miracles is saying? It says that you will find peace when you've accepted your mission to extend peace. It says you will see peace by making peace manifest. So if I'm not a peaceful person, then I am not calling on peace. I'm not a witness to peace, so I won't see witnesses to peace. So if I want to have peace around me, do you know that I would have to be a peaceful person myself? The Course in Miracles says that the holy healing witnesses will surround you because you did what? Because you called on them. You have to call on it. If you call on them, they will come to you. Are you seeing that I'm sharing with you the exact instructions and perception that the Course in Miracles is giving us? The Course in Miracles is giving us new ways of looking at things. The purpose of the Course in Miracles is to give us peaceful, loving ways to look at everything. The Course in Miracles removes the blocks to the awareness of love by giving us another way of looking at things. If we're willing to let go of our need to be right, to want to be happy enough to admit that what you know may not be everything there is to know. That if you are having a lot of pain and suffering and upset and fear and worry, maybe you got some thoughts you don't know you have. Maybe you have some calls for love and grievances that you don't know you have that need to be released. Maybe you're looking inside yourself and seeing something other than innocence inside yourself. And therefore you're seeing the contradictory witnesses. So if you want the witnesses to love, you have to call on them. Don't make it more complicated than that. So love, living love, Jesus of the Course, Spirit, God, love has heard your call, and love has answered your call. But you won't look upon the love. You won't let yourself hear the answer that you've been seeking. God heard your call. The Creator heard your call. The Creator has answered your call. But you won't look upon the true you, the true you, the spirit you. You look upon the body you. You focus on the body you. But what about the spirit you? The love you? You've got to look upon God. You have to look upon the truth in yourself. You look upon the spirit, and then you'll hear the answer that you've been looking for. But you won't hear the answer of God. You won't hear the answer of your inner teacher because you do not yet want only that. You must want only God's answer. You must want only love, which is the same thing as saying I want only peace, which is the same thing as saying I want only abundance, which is the same thing as saying I want only joy, which is the same thing as saying I want only to know my eternal life and my oneness and union. When you want only that, then you will hear the answers that your Creator is giving to you. So what does that mean? It's telling me that the reason why I don't hear God's voice as clearly as I'd like to hear God's voice is because I don't want only love yet. I don't want only peace yet. I may think I want only love and peace and happiness and health, but obviously I'm getting contradictory witnesses, which means that there are thoughts I have that are other than love. So the Course in Miracles is saying that I haven't heard God because it's not, love isn't the only thing I want. I haven't heard God because God isn't the only thing I want. I'm gonna own up to what the Course is saying. I'm not gonna sit up and say, I have total faith in God, yet I'm having all these contradictory witnesses in the world where I'm seeing love and fear and up and down and, anger and kindness. It's like, no, those are the witness to the contradictory nature of the invitations I'm sending out. And that's because I'm looking inside of myself and seeing something other than innocence inside of me. Maybe I think I'm guilty. Maybe I think I'm not enough. Maybe I don't love myself the way that I should. And so therefore I get the contradictory witnesses that come into my life. And if I really want to find peace, I have to accept my mission. And do you know that I was just told, and you were just told, that your mission is to, find peace? And by making peace manifest, by being a peaceful person yourself, a loving person yourself, then it says its holy witnesses will surround you. Do you know that the witnesses to love will surround you because you have called them to you? And do you know that you've been answered by God? But the reason, according to A Course in Miracles, that you don't hear that answer is because you don't want only God's answer, that you want something else other than God, something else other than the truth. But do you know, as Jesus of the Course, as the living love, as God becomes more real to you, as love becomes more real to you, you're going to learn what? As love becomes more real to you, you are going to learn that you do want only love. The more love becomes real, the more that's going to be the only thing you want. The more you experience a sane relationship, the more you're going to want sane relationships. The more you have free relationships, relationships that are rooted in your freedom, the more you're going to want that. As it becomes real to you, you want only that. Do you know you will see the living love, the Christ in you, the Jesus in you, the God in you, the Spirit in you, as you look within? And we will look upon what together? Do you know that we're going to look at the real world together? We're going to see love together. We're going to see the real love together. We're going to see the real world of only love together. So how do you see the real world? How do you see the real world of love? You see it through the eyes of Christ. And what is the Christ according to A Course in Miracles? Not according to what you may have learned through religious learnings when you were younger. According to the Course, the Christ is the one self we all share. That one loving self, that one perfect, whole, complete self that was created by the Creator, the real you. Of course, in Miracles calls to Christ your true self, your real self, your loving self. So through the eyes of your real self, your loving self, Christ, only the real world exists. And only the real world can be seen. So what did it say? When you're looking through the eyes of love, when you're looking through the eyes of truth, and when you're looking through the eyes of love, and when you're looking through the eyes of your true self, when you're finally in touch with your true self, when you're finally in trust with your divine self, then you're going to only see the real loving world. You're only going to see that only the real loving world exists. You don't see the real loving world yet because you're still looking inside of your own mind and thinking that there's something inside of you to be afraid of, something inside of you that's not truly love. And if you believe there's something inside of you that's not worthy, that's not truly love, then you look out into the world, and then it looks like you're in a world full of conflict and misery and anger and upset and viruses and diseases and racism and separation and lack. That comes from looking inside the mind and seeing something other than love in the mind, focusing in on something other than truth in the mind. So as you look through the eyes of your true self, as you look through the eyes of your divine self, the Course in Miracles says, then you'll see only loving perceptions. You'll see only peaceful perceptions. You'll see only happy perceptions. Only the real world, and only the real world can be seen. So what is a main metaphysical law? As you decide, so will you see. 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 Say it to yourself. As I decide, so will I see. 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 As we decide, so will we 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 see. And all that you see, 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 but witnesses to your decision. All that you see, but witnesses to your decision. Everything you see is just a witness to your decision. You're only seeing what you decide. You are seeing things the way you have decided to see things. You are seeing things the way that you have decided to see things. Listen to this. Listen to this. You are not a victim. You are not a victim of the way you see. You are not a victim of the way you see. You are not a victim of how you see. You are not a victim of how you see. You are not a victim of how you see. What you see comes from your decisions. What you see, it comes from your decision. Decide to see it right. Decide to see this right. Decide to see this situation you're in right. Decide to see the relationship you're in right. Decide to see it right because you are the light. Decide to see it right because you are the light. Decide to see it right because you are the light. Decide to see this right because you are the light. Decide to see it right because you are the light, because all that you see but witnesses to your decision. Take a breath. Take a breath. I'm going to do a quick recap. I'm going to pull a miracle card for us as a parting thought from Spirit. I am Earl Purdy. I'm a full-time teacher. If you'd like to make a donation or make a financial expression of appreciation, I would appreciate that. Just go to my website Earl Purdy, www.earlpurdy.com, P-U-R-D-Y, earlpurdy.com. If you like to use Venmo or one of the other payment services, my email address is earlpurdy@earlpurdy.com, earlpurdy@earlpurdy.com. If you really are ready to get down deep and go past some blocks you know you've had a long time, or you like to get some form of mentoring, coaching from me personally, then I call them clarity sessions. And if you're open to it, I have been a sole purpose astrologer and numerologist for over 40 years, and I love it. It's just another way that the universe or spirit communicates through to us. And I bring in all the many years of the Course in Miracles and other metaphysical powerful teachings into our session. And we get you past whatever the block is. Let's do it. If you'd like to have a clarity session, go to my website. It explains it in detail. And you can self-book an appointment with me right from the website. Sign up for my contact list so that I can let you know anything that I'm doing. And also go to the Earl Purdy page and follow the page so that you'll know when I go on live. Thursdays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time on the Earl Purdy page. I do hardcore Course in Miracles. For Course in Miracles students, anybody can watch, but it's especially geared toward people who are studying the Course in Miracles and want to take advantage of someone who's been doing it for over 40 years. The purpose of a relationship is to save time. Would you please share these videos? Just take a minute. Take a minute to share them with various groups and your friends. I would really appreciate that if you would share these video lessons. You don't know who may really benefit through hearing A Course in Miracles coming through me. So we're going to pull a card right now, and we're going to see what the Holy Spirit wants us to think of and remember as a group. And I love it. You won't believe the card that I pulled. The perfect Perfect card. Oh yeah, listen to this at least 4 times. Listen to each lesson that I do at least 4 times. 4 is the number of building foundations. So here, check this out. Check this out, mighty companion. This is what I pulled. I could see peace instead of this. So whatever it is that's causing you any type of fear or conflict right now, or anxiety to go, I could see peace instead of this. I can see peace instead of this. I could 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 see peace instead of this. You could see peace instead of this. You could see peace instead of this. You can see peace. You could see peace. You could see peace instead of this. Tell yourself, I could see peace. I could see peace. I could see peace instead of this. I could see peace. I could see peace. I could see peace instead of this. I could see peace, I could see peace, I could see peace instead of this. Tell yourself, nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. Okay, let's see it. Let's get it. Rhythm, rhythm, repetition, repetition. Remember, 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 remember. Nothing real can be threatened. 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 The next line is, nothing unreal exists. 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 Herein lies the peace of God. 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 Nothing real can be threatened. If it's really real, nothing can threaten it. If that relationship is real, nothing can threaten it. If your financial abundance, if your spiritual grounding is real, nothing real. If your truth is real, it cannot be threatened. Nothing real can be threatened. And if it's unreal, it doesn't exist anyway. If it's unreal, it doesn't exist. If it's unreal, it doesn't exist. So fear doesn't actually exist. That doesn't mean you don't give yourself feelings of fear. It's just that your fears do not exist as an independent entity. Your fears do not exist as an independent entity. Your fears are coming from your thoughts. If you're looking inside yourself and you think there's something else inside you instead of goodness and love, then you're going to see something else outside of you that looks like it's something other than goodness, that is goodness and love. So remember, you will have only love when that is what you want. When you only want love, you will see nothing else. When you only want love, you will see nothing else. When I only want love, I will see nothing else. When I only want love, I will see nothing else. When we only want love, we will see nothing else. Tell yourself one more time, I could see peace instead of whatever is upsetting you. Mighty companions, this was a powerful class, presentation, whatever the heck it is. I just know I needed to hear that. And there was a lot of great points that I needed to remember because I teach what I need to learn. The only difference is that I've been doing it so long, I'll go to the answers a lot quicker than many or most beginners because they're still debating whether or not what the Course says is true. Where now I've learned that the Course in Miracles is always true. It always works when you use it. So I just do what it says fast as I possibly can so that I can get out of whatever the situation of unrest or upset that I'm going through. And if I can help somebody else do that through my over 100 times of reading the Course in Miracles and sharing it with hundreds and hundreds of students, thousands actually, and I could be a benefit, I could be a conduit, I can fulfill my mission, which is to extend peace, then I'm thankful to you for giving me that opportunity to do that. So, mighty companions, thank you, thank you, thank you. And may the course be with you. See you next time.